everybody. Welcome, welcome. Paula Vail here. Thank you for joining us in another episode of Choices Finding Your Joy. And today it's not going to be just joy, it's going to be funny. We are going to have some humor today as well. I have for our guest today, Nick Arnette, the feel-good funny guy. He is the author of 2 books. He's a keynote speaker, comedian, master of ceremonies, and auctioneer. Oh, I love it. All that fun stuff. Welcome, Nick.
Hey, Paula. It's so nice to be on your show. What an honor. Yay.
Yay, and I'm honored to have you.
Wow.
We are going to have some fun today.
Yes, we are. I'm already having fun.
All right.
Awesome you are.
The fun begins. I love it. Would you share with everyone a bit of your background and what brought you to where you're at today, Nick?
Sure. Well, I started as a stand-up comedian back in Denver, 1984. Back in the days, there was an unknown named Roseanne Barr that was on the local Denver comedy scene. So I was just a newbie, but she was a Denver star at that time, but unknown around the country. So that was kind of fun, driving her around town to gigs and stuff, and that was fun. And her husband, Bill Pentland, was a friend. It just was awesome. So I got the good old days of comedy. And you're up there in Tacoma. I even moved to Seattle. I lived there for 3 years and did a lot of comedy around the Pacific Northwest.
Wow.
And yeah, awesome. So did that, and then also enjoyed the more speaking engagement part of it, the humor with the message kind of thing. So I've been doing that for quite some time as well. And so that's branched out into other things. I do now a lot of charity auctions, and actually working for a private foundation now too. We're doing some projects, or humanitarian and educational projects around the world. So being busy with stuff, and I like it.
Thank you, honey. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love it. Well, let's start out with just sharing a bit about your book. I absolutely loved it.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really happy with the book. I kind of just put it out there because people were saying, well, you really need a book. You've got these things to say, but we need a book, and that'll make it better for you. The Speakers Bureau's actually wanted me to have a book. So it really wrote itself. It wasn't very difficult because I was talking about those things for a long time, because life's kind of tough, right? Right, Paula? Life happens, and we go through things on a daily basis that are not pleasant. Yeah. So that's why we need, it all starts with the attitude. Everything starts here. Everything. Really, we're as happy as we make our minds up to be, but it all starts with the way we think, because that determines how we feel. How we feel determines how we behave, and our behavior over time is our character. But it is so much all starting here. And I didn't learn it the easy way, Paula. It took me quite a while for this to soak in. The business I'm in, the comedy business, all the things I do, a lot of them are highly subjective. When people make decisions, a lot of rejection, a lot of ups and downs, but life goes on. I'm still here. Friends, everybody out there today, you're still here. Never forget that. You are still here. Life is tough, but you're still here. So You're awesome. You did it. You're doing it.
I love it.
Keeping on.
You know what that made me think of, Nick, when you say, okay, it's here, it starts here. Okay, then every day I'm going to get in my car, and this is my steering wheel. What direction am I going to go?
Paula, so glad you said that. When you get up in the morning, your attitude, studies show your attitude for the day is set largely within the first 10 minutes of your day. So make those first 10 minutes really good. Watch a good podcast, watch some of your shows. Yeah. But that's where you start. So make that a really good 10 minutes. Read something good, listen to something good for your first 10 minutes of the day. Make it pleasant.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I did not know that. I do my affirmations in the mornings, my positive affirmations, but that's usually after I've had a couple cups of coffee and that. I'm going to start doing them right away in that first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and people out there, they'll say, "Well, I'm not a morning person. I'm not particularly one either." But again, it's all in your mind. It's what you want to do, friends. You want to act yourself into a feeling, not feel yourself into an action. Don't wait till you feel like it. Just do it, and you'll feel better because you did it. Right?
Yes.
Life is simple. It is simple stuff, but we just don't do it because we don't feel like it.
Yeah.
So a lot of things we don't feel like, but they're pretty good once you get going.
Isn't that so true, Nick? It's simple and we don't have to complicate it. It really is simple.
I think when most of us fail, it's when we fail at the basics. We might be really good all the time, but that one time we honk our horn and yell at somebody. How embarrassing. Have you ever done that? And then it ends up you pull into the same parking lot, then you're going to the same event and you see that person all the time. Yeah, it's just a reminder. Oh, if I would have just stayed cool and maybe
Yes.
that person's having a hard day. It's not
Yes.
about you, right? It's
Yeah.
everybody's going through something.
Yeah, because we don't know. And that really kind of hit me one day because here in the Seattle area, traffic's bad. You see just some nuts on the road. But I go 3 mornings a week to do Grammy duty, and I was going to get my granddaughter at the bus stop, and there was traffic and I wasn't moving, and I'm like, panicked because she's going to get off the bus and nobody will be there. And then once it finally moved a bit, I was racing and I thought, all those people are going to think I'm such a jerk. But I was panicked trying to get to my granddaughter, which I did, thank goodness. But
Yeah.
that really made me think, I don't know someone's situation.
You just lead me into such great things to talk about there, Paula. When things happen to us, we need to ask ourselves actually 4 questions. What part of this can I do nothing about? All right. And if there's traffic, I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
What part can I do something about? How can I keep these negative thoughts going and get myself even more upset than I already am? Right? What do you want to honk on the horn and flip people out, whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing really, at this point, what are my options? And the option would be just, well, it is what it is. I'll get through here somehow. It's going to work out. But just talk yourself through it. Breathing. You ever heard they tell you to breathe for a minute, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out? It works, doesn't it?
Yes, it
Anybody
does.
out there, just breathe in 5. You immediately relax. Why?
Yes.
Why do you do that? Largely because you're concentrating on your breathing and not about your problems. So it's kind of a distraction. It is a distraction, and a good one, a healthy one.
Yeah.
But really, that's what it is. Replace that negative thought with something that's more valuable, more useful.
What a great point, Nick. I had not thought about that. Getting mad or getting upset, that really doesn't change your options. The options stay the same.
Stay the same, right?
Yeah, so just look at them calmly, make a decision what you can do and what you can't, and move on, I guess.
Yeah, even for me, I really, I'm a fairly impatient person, I'll be honest with you, and I don't like waiting in long lines. But usually when I get all the way to the front, it's generally not the person's fault. That's, the cashier. So I just try to make that person's day better somehow, saying, well, you're really popular. Look at all the people that want to see you today. Because they're having a tough day. And then that makes me feel better, makes them feel better. Try to leave people with a smile.
Yes.
Yeah, people, they won't always remember what you've said, but they'll always remember the way you've made them feel.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Nick, I'm sending you a big hug.
Hey, everybody out there.
Big hugs, everybody. Oh, I love it. We all just got a group hug. Something that you have said that I just loved was, studies show people learn better and remember more when they are in a good mood. Tell us about that.
Well, it's very simple. If people are relaxed, they're more open to new ideas. People are more productive when they are relaxed and appreciated. So laughter is it's the old saying, laughter is the best medicine, but it really is. And you can find very numerous studies that will show, just go ahead and Google it. But there have been a great deal of studies that prove that point. People even do better on tests if they listen to something funny beforehand. But the same effect, though, I don't want to be totally saying only humor will do this. Something else that will make you feel good, maybe classical music, maybe rock music, but something that puts you in a better mood, makes you perform better. And unfortunately, a lot of us work in environments and we work under fear, and people just don't produce well under fear. And what I've learned, this is very interesting. Some of the young people I hear of that are working at Google, for instance, they actually play games at work. Literally, during breaks, play board games, and they have fun things to do, and they're more productive and more creative. But that's part of their work environment. I would imagine Microsoft is very similar to that as well. But that's the work environment now for creative and productive people. It does work.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
one thing though out there, I don't want people to go back out there and say, well, we're supposed to have fun at work. Yes, it's great to have fun at work, but it is a problem when it turns into goofing off and not getting the job done, right? We gotta get the work done. We still gotta get it done, but let's just try to have a good time while we're doing it. Help each other get through.
Yeah.
One of the things in my book I talk about is teamwork, and really, teamwork very much needs to be defined because it's such a vague term. Because when we think about, the Seattle Seahawks, they're awesome. I love it. That still bothers me that they lost the Super Bowl that year with that interception. And by the way, I'm from Denver originally, and you guys really put the shame on Denver bad. But anyway, how many out there could think about your favorite sports team, can name every member on the team? Not very many. But immediately the stars come to mind, and they tend to be what we value most as a culture, the people that are superstars. But that's not a team, it's everybody. There's the trainers, there's the coaches, there's the bus drivers, there's all those people are part of the team. So we need to consider that. And also, everyone out there, define what teamwork is and make sure everyone on your team knows what your definition of teamwork is, because it might not be the same is what they were thinking. Yeah, our culture, the American culture, is be the best you can be. Be the best individual you can be. Let's get a trillion hits on YouTube on my channel. Then we get a bunch of followers on my channel, Facebook. Look how cool my life is, right? So other cultures, I taught English as a second language one summer at UCLA to some students from Indonesia. And I just thought it was really enlightening. They were playing basketball, and if somebody would get fouled hard, get knocked down, I would think, well, there might be a fight or a shoving match, or somebody start yelling. Game stopped, helped each other up, dusted up, and game went on like nothing was wrong at all. So we just don't have that type of. Ours is, hey, stand up, don't let anybody get over you. I'm sorry for those dings there, friends. Yeah.
That's okay. We'll just consider them part of the fun.
Yeah. I know people are going to say, well, hey, you could have changed the setting, but anyway, sorry. Ding, ding, ding.
It's all good. It's all good.
What part can you do something about? Well, later on, I can probably figure out how to turn that off. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have such a wide variety of what you've done. Just because I used to own a restaurant, and I would do some fundraisers and have dinner and auctions. And I always loved the auctioneer we'd have come in. What's that like? I would love to hear a little bit of what that's like to be an auctioneer.
Well, for me, I started kind of came by accident. As you get older, at least for me, I had less and less stand-up comedy gigs to do. I'm a lot older than most of the stand-up comedy club audiences, and that's all right. And I work really clean. I've always worked clean. So anyway, I just found new venues to just be in front of people and talk. So I am the house auctioneer at 4 auction houses in San Francisco, 3 in LA and 1 in San Francisco, for mostly Chinese antiques. So I do those, but then I do these fundraisers also. And that's good for me because I'm all about helping other people. Charitable causes, nonprofits, I just love them. So it's a chance to do a little bit of comedy, but also do good for mankind as well. So
Yes.
yeah, a lot of fun. It really
Oh,
is.
I
Yeah,
bet.
yeah.
And you do speaking, keynote speaking all over, don't you?
All over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to
Yeah.
Barcelona. Yeah. Used to go up to Canada a lot. I'd love to go back there. When I lived in Seattle, I was up there speaking a lot, but haven't for a while. But I'd love to go back.
Take a minute for me, Nick, and share with everyone your website information.
Oh, thank
Get
you.
a hold of you.
NickArnette.com. And it's ARNETTE. NickArnette.com. And there it is. And you can find all
Awesome.
kinds of stuff on
Awesome.
there. Yeah.
And something else very interesting that you said that I just loved was laughter is caused by the unexpected and conflict.
Right.
These same two ingredients that trigger laughter also are the same things that cause stress, anxiety, anger. That really is interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you think about watching a sitcom, for instance, it's funny because something has gone wrong and you can relate to it. So there's the conflict and how they work it out. It's funny, and so yeah, that's the conflict. That's where the funny comes from. And then another element is just the element of surprise. They're just surprised, just like a baby when you hide your hand, peekaboo. For them, that's it takes more to surprise us as we get older. But anyway, that's the element of surprise. But it's the same thing that makes us feel bad. Element of surprise. Oh, you have to work overtime today. We're cutting back on staff. Element of surprise, right? And conflict, maybe not getting along with somebody at work, or bad traffic on your way to work, or somebody cut you off in traffic. Yeah. So same things. I think that's why we have humor, to balance things out.
Yeah.
We don't live in a perfect world. And
And
go ahead.
yeah, there comes that choice. How am I going to react to it, huh?
Right. And it doesn't mean we are laughing everything off, because
Right.
things are still bad, but you can still have what I call a sense of joy. It's an internal sense of well-being. No matter what's going on, you still have a sense that things will be okay,
Mm-hmm.
even though things are tough. You're gonna get through it, and that's
Yeah.
what I want people to have. You think about things that really matter. The people that you
Mm-hmm.
love, your health, whatever. We have so many things to be grateful for, and having an attitude of gratitude is again a very healthy thing. Helps our lower our blood pressure. It boosts our immune system, just
Yeah.
like a lot of other things. Like laughter does the same thing. Provides better sleep. So that's a very good thing. Be thankful and have gratitude regardless, because we're going to get through it, friends. All of us, we are.
And changing the attitudes a little bit in a workplace, having that teamwork and bringing in a little bit of humor, and that can just really make some outstanding benefits, create just great benefits, can it?
It just helps us cope with the situation. That's what's so fun about doing comedy, because most of my comedy comes from things that aren't particularly, um, at the time they were kind of hurtful, but then they became pretty good. Like I had a girlfriend one time. She actually said, "I can tell that you used to be good looking." So, yeah. So, how do you respond to that?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh
Well,
my
I said, well, if I still look like that, I wouldn't be dating you. How about that? Anyway, I didn't say that, but that's
Oh my gosh.
but you have to. You just have
You
to
just,
laugh.
yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just you never know what's gonna surprises you have coming, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, if you can laugh about it, you can talk about it. That's what I say. Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that's true.
it
That's
is.
true.
You have a great laugh. You have a really great attitude.
Oh, thank
How do you
you.
have such a great attitude?
Well, I've always believed, very much in gratitude. I was a preemie baby, 2 pounds, not supposed to survive. So I'm grateful for life.
Yeah.
And I think looking at what you're grateful for instead of, I've had serious challenges in my life. I share some things in my upcoming book, and, major things I've had to go through, but I've had to make the choice Am I going to look at that, or am I going to look at what I am grateful for and thankful for and move on? Because I really truly believe happiness is a choice we make. It's not our circumstances.
Right. Thank
It's,
you.
yeah. So that's kind of me. And I've had people my whole life say, why are you so happy? So that's where I got the title.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh,
And you know what? That's interesting. A lot of people will use the cop out. Well, I can't control my anger. But people can. You ever seen people in an argument, even yourself, maybe, like maybe you're angry with somebody and it's maybe a heated conversation, but then there's a phone call that comes in and it's like, oh, hi, Larry, how are you? And then right? So immediately they're able to change their mindset to pleasant from angry. So yes, it can be controlled. It really can be.
yeah.
Might not want to do it, but you can do it. Yes.
Yeah. So, Nick, with that comedian background of yours and your expertise, share something with us. Okay, everybody, today after listening to this show, here's a little something I want you to think about, or maybe put into practice or create as a habit. What would you say?
Well, I would think I really want to stress that people don't wait till you feel like doing something to do it. Just make yourself do it. You are in charge of you, and you'll feel so much better once you do it. It doesn't take very much. It's kind of like a car stuck in the snow. You might be the only one pushing, but then a friend comes to help, and then that car gets right out of it. So just do that one little thing, even one little thing. Make yourself even one little thing. Maybe walk around the block. Just make yourself do that. If you're feeling sad, walking 15 minutes a day, just a little bit of extra, 15 minutes a day every day will do a great deal to help you alleviate your depression. It really will. Make yourself do it. You might not feel like it. Find a video on YouTube, maybe some simple 15-minute exercise. Just get started and do it, and you will be so glad. I'm intermittent fasting now. I didn't feel like it. You heard about that concept?
No.
What I do is I only eat between the hours of 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. And there's variations on this. So I'm not saying, hey, everybody do what I'm doing. This is just the way I'm doing it. So I only eat then. That's the only time I eat. And so the rest of the time my body is working on itself. So it gives it more time to do other things, helps the pituitary gland. I haven't lost much weight, but I actually do. I do feel better. I do. I think my mind is better. Look it up, everybody out there. There's a lot of information about it. So I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like starting because I said, well, that's a long time not to eat, but it's actually very, very easy, at least for me. So that's an example of doing something I didn't feel like doing, but I did it. I'm glad I'm doing it. It's healthier for me. Yeah.
So today we can think about something that we maybe have wanted to do or think we should do.
Make yourself
and let's do it.
That you don't feel like doing, whatever it is. Maybe read for 5 minutes or something. Just any little thing. Maybe eating something healthy instead of something unhealthy. Maybe skipping something instead of doing something. Maybe taking a break. Maybe writing a letter that you've been returning a phone call that you have been dreading.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, put a smile on somebody else's face too. That's another thing. That's so easy. Everybody, life is like this, friends. Either we're in the middle of something, we just got out of something, or we're about ready to go into something. That's the cycle of life, friends. It is. We're all in it together. So let's help each other out.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Teamwork.
Yes.
Teamwork. And you talk about teamwork a lot in your book.
I do. It's important. I think they're all interrelated. They are. Yeah. I spend a lot of time by myself now working for the foundation. I work mostly out of home, and then I travel. We got a trip planned to Africa and perhaps Myanmar if I can get there. I understand it's pretty remote where we're working, but yeah, it's good to be around people and have a support system. It is. It really is.
That's exciting, Nick. A year ago at this time, I was in Africa.
Really?
It was amazing on a mission trip. It was absolutely amazing.
it changed my life. I certainly
Oh,
wasn't planning on
yeah.
doing this work that I'm doing now, but
Oh,
even
it
today,
does. It changes your life. And
yeah.
what it does on the gratitude level. I mean,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh. Yeah, these kids
God,
had one flat soccer ball. That's all they had. And they were happy. I couldn't believe it.
yeah,
That's all they had.
yes.
Now I got them some soccer balls and some jump ropes. And
Oh, I love
you
it.
would have thought they would get an Xbox 360 or Xbox One, unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was life changing. I work with a couple different organizations, and simple things that we take for granted, like young girls, the school girls, bald heads. And I
Mm.
finally asked, why are their heads shaved? Why are they? Well, for one, they couldn't afford shampoo or products, and they have no water to wash their hair. I mean, that's something we so easily just take for granted.
Yeah, that and even the way the young girls are treated too. So we're working on
Yeah,
maybe building an orphanage there. We're getting proposals now to
I love it. I love it. You'll have to. Is there a website or something you can share with everyone? Or
Michelle Chu Foundation.
okay,
Michelle, then CHIOU, then Foundation. But you can find me at nickarnette.com, and I can certainly
okay.
lead you to that. I certainly
Excellent.
can. Yeah.
Oh, Nick, thank you so
Yay,
much. We have about
Paula.
1 minute left. Any last words you want to tell everybody?
Well, feel free to reach out to me on my website if you have any more questions. Thanks for watching. It was another great thing. But just take care of yourself. Be good to yourself, friends. Be good to one another. It's said over and over again, but it's said over and over for a reason because we really do need each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Beautiful message. Everyone out there, thank you. Love, hugs, and blessings. Nick, love,
Yay.
hugs, and blessings. Thank you
So
so much.
fun. I'm glad I made a new friend today, Paula.
Yes, yeah, forever friend.
Yay, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Everybody.